Go. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. If you are a parent and entrepreneur trying to juggle the most important people in your lives while building your business, and you want to learn a life-changing micro habit around how to spend 20 minutes a day fully present, playing with your children, most importantly, on their terms, then you are going to want to stick around, folks, because this simple micro habit can strengthen your bond, foster creativity, and bring more balance and joy into both your life, your kids' life, and your business. So this episode could be one of the most important episodes for you, your children, and your business lifestyle that you hear this year. So let's dive into it, folks. I want to welcome you to the Entrepreneur Expansion Show. This is the first ever gamified show that helps entrepreneurs master their subconscious mind, body, and business by implementing micro habits into their lives in a fun, supportive, action-oriented way to create more transformational impact and income. I am your host, Matt Travis, the founder of The Potential You. And if you are a service-based business owner wanting to break through any sales slumps and implement our consistent 5-figure months formula, where we uplevel your offer, your marketing, and your mindset in our $97 VIP Prove It partnership, click the Leads and Sales Accelerator link below in the show notes, and we will send you a free step-by-step implementation guide of exactly how we can make this happen together. So we have such a treat today, folks. We have an awesome guest, Mihaela Torelli. She combines strategic business coaching with practical workflow solutions to empower entrepreneurial moms and nomadic entrepreneurial moms to work smarter, not harder. And really getting into this today, I'm so excited to have you because this is such a passion of mine, being a person who've worked with children for a very long time, and just knowing how important this is from a subconscious development standpoint for your kids. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Matt, for being here. I'm happy to be here.
I love it. I love it. So can you give me just start breaking down, like, why is this so important? Like, why are you so passionate about helping people with this?
Why? The biggest why is always like, I know when I started my entrepreneurship, I started together with my husband. So we really had no idea where to start, what to do. So we started with dropshipping. And then accidentally at that time we lived in Romania. So accidentally I stumbled on the offer to teach kids and adults the German language. So this was our start. So yeah, firstly we started German language teaching in an institute. Then came COVID.
Yep.
So we separate our ways from the institute and we went online. It was a huge success for us because parents looked something for the children that are learning new skills. And this went great until the Ukraine war.
For sure.
Yeah, this was really difficult and challenging time. So we were all the time alone. Yeah, and then we have to transition to virtual assistant. And we had German service-based businesses in the German-speaking countries like Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, because we are German citizens.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, but all this time we struggled, especially when we worked as German language teacher. I always felt the guilt. We work really from mornings till evenings, and my husband and I we changed the care. At the time, she didn't want to the kindergarten in Romania because we didn't want to. They have the different mentality, which we didn't really like it. But I always had this guilt. Oh, I'm working so much. Isn't really what I wanted. Working from mornings till evenings. And
Yeah,
the most challenging time were the holidays, the vacations for the children. In Romania, the summer is really long, 3 months. And it was also difficult client acquisition, getting new leads during this time.
sure. Yeah.
So it was always a challenge. But instead, really, back then I didn't saw the opportunity how to do this, to focus as well on the marketing, which is really important, especially for the summers, maybe to collaborate with the other institutes or something. It was always too late for me, so I didn't had the opportunity to go like on a vacation myself. So we had to work all the time. But with the opportunity to work as a virtual assistant, we took the leap.
Yeah.
We
Uh,
just had 1,000 euros in our pockets and we started. We sold everything. We just gifted what we couldn't need. And with 4 suitcases, we started our adventure. Even on this time, it was really challenging. But um, I would like to share my experience. So don't have to struggle, work 20 hours per week, focusing on marketing, which is really important.
yeah. Yeah, and I think it's important for people to understand like you are a product of your product. Like you are traveling, you're nomadic. You're like we were talking before we jumped on the episode, like you're in an Airbnb right now. So the internet's slightly choppy, but I was like, we're making this episode work because even if it's a
Yeah,
little clippy, folks, when you're listening, like this is important stuff that you need to hear because you can make this work. That's, I think, one
yeah,
of the
of
biggest
course.
takeaways is like you can make this work and you're making this work, living a nomadic lifestyle, moving around. And do you homeschool the children or do you have them as you go to different places, do you have them going to schools there?
Not yet. I didn't start with homeschooling because I didn't found any options. But I'm taking this journey to like a possibility to look after countries where homeschooling is legal, like in Asia is
Got it.
legal, so like Thailand, I think Malaysia as well. So for this year, I would like to take the leap and
Yeah.
visit those countries, even it's the travel is long for my daughter. She doesn't have the patience, so somehow I have to do to think about some strategies to.
But I
So
love
she,
this because you're going to learn so much in the process of this, which is a great lead into the micro habit that we're going to share today, which um, is basically how to have 20 minutes uninterrupted, intentional time with your children and really on their terms, which is my favorite part about this. So, can you give a little breakdown of like how do you what is this mini habit? How do you do it? What does it look like?
until she went to the kindergarten, we are doing this habit after the kindergarten on the weekends as well. So if I see, okay, she's starting still doing silly things, that means she needs attention.
Totally.
So in Turkey, it's really, in, they have a lot of stuff for crafting for kids. So, and they have like magazines for Peppa Pig and so on. And I don't know, there are so many figures outside, but they have a lot of tasks for the children, like memory games and so on. That's we are playing with. It takes sometimes 20 half hour,
Love it.
30 minutes for this habit. Oh, I'm going just outside with her to playground. And she commands me, do this, do that, sit down. Also,
I love it. I love it.
yeah, during the summertime when it's hotter, now it's here a little bit rainy in Turkey, we are going then in the afternoon to the beach. So this is our habit. So this is a habit which takes more than 20 minutes. This is something a few hours. But this is always I want to make sure that she's good, she's safe, she's feeling good. But I also see she has a lot of fun on traveling. I can see
Sure.
the difference between other children who have who has a permanent place, a permanent home, and my daughter, she's growing up with this.
Yeah.
When we started our journey as digital nomad, she was 3 years old. Now she's 6.
Wow. It's such a unique experience for her on so many levels. This habit, I just love everything about it. Number one, I mean, for her particular experience, it's probably going to be different than most of the listeners, where she gets to experience what it's like to travel and learn that it's safe to do so in certain areas, right? And learn to have all of these different experiences in a really unique way. And I just want to emphasize on this particular mini habit how powerful this is for the child's subconscious mind. Like, most people don't realize that the subconscious is being formed. Like, your subconscious is super active, and your identity, your beliefs, your values, patterns, habits, standards, all these things are developed really early on, from 0 to 7 years old, all the way up. Like, a lot of the clients will go back to scenes when they're 10 or younger. And a lot of times I find it's the child doesn't feel like connected with their parents or loved or feel like they're good enough, because they're not having that experience with them on a continuous basis that you're explaining here, which is so powerful. To give them at least 20 to 30 minutes every day of your undivided attention. That's going to create such a subconscious ripple effect in their lives forever. So you're creating a it's just so powerfully impactful, more than any of you listeners can ever truly understand. It's like really, really key. So I just love this, love this. And so what are her favorite things? Like, what does she guide you to do?
Oh, in summertime, it's definitely water. She loves the beach, the pool.
Water fan. Yep.
She loves the playgrounds, especially the if it's outdoor, indoor, doesn't matter. She has a lot of energy, so somehow she needs to get rid of them.
Absolutely. Yep.
So she loves also the kindergarten. Especially here in Turkey, they are really Montessori based, which I really appreciated. They have always an outdoor space so the children can play outside, not just inside. And this country is really child friendly, really.
Hmm.
The kids here are really appreciated. They're welcoming.
I love it. So when someone's trying to go and implement this mini habit of doing activities with their children, uninterrupted, really giving them that quality human to human connection, what are some of the roadblocks you've found that people come up when it comes to this particular implementation of this?
I think the roadblock could be flexibility. You need, as a parent, to be flexible. If you don't, if you're just focusing on your schedule and not on your child, because you can't schedule your child at the time.
Yeah.
Even if you put it on your calendar, from 3 to 5 p.m., I'm taking care of my child. She's 6 years old, so she doesn't have the mindset of
Yeah.
8 or 9 here. So, yeah, you need to be flexible. This is really important. Even I still have to be flexible when she's sick at home and I have to take care of her. So yeah, so I'm focusing like on doing really short focused tasks and take care of her, and then the next, even if it's take a whole day, but it's important to focus on the most important task. And
Ab-
flexibility is the
Absolutely.
most important thing.
I think that is such a key roadblock for everybody to hear about and be able to come over. And of course, there's certain times, folks, listeners, just so you need to empathize with yourself. Sometimes you're not going to be able to implement this right when the child wants to do it. That's part of it. Okay, so don't worry about that. Don't beat yourself up if you can't be right there with them. But I think one of the things that you just said was so key, which is the flexibility piece of like, yeah, you can schedule this time, but it doesn't mean that it's going to fall in that time frame, right? You might move that,
No.
and then the time that you had planned for it, that can be time where you can squeeze in a little bit more, really, like you said, intentional work time, right? Like really being intentional about that, shutting down all of your other things and really focusing and saying, I need to complete this task at this time. And that's a whole nother podcast episode. That's a whole another episode for people to listen to. But it is something where, yeah, children, they're unpredictable. Being a teacher myself for over 18 years, you just, sometimes the children come in to the classroom and you have a whole lesson plan. You have this whole idea of what you're going to do with them. And you quickly realize that you need to crumble that up and throw it in the corner and do what's best and most ideal for them. And that is what I love about this approach that you're saying, where it's like, you got to be flexible, where the thing that you thought you were going to do with them might be different. The time might be different, but being open to, uh, really starting to embody this habit and not being so stringent and rigid and controlling of it needs to be at this time and so on and so forth. So I just think it's beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So any other thoughts or things that you think people would need to know about when they're trying to go and implement this habit?
Just focusing on just looking what the child wants, not what you want. I tried also maybe like, hey, let's draw something or just paint something. She doesn't want. She does. Maybe she wants to play something else or so. It's just look what your child wants. And
Yeah.
we have some sessions of drawing, and she is telling me, draw ladybug, draw a spider or something like this. Just what she wants. It's just a short time for her where you are focusing on her. Sometimes I have my phone with me, not just the distractions, just to have an idea how to draw a dog or so. I'm not
Yeah.
really an expert for this, but I'm doing my best. And it's not about the perfection or so, it's just about fun. Um even she tells me, Mom, please draw a duck for me. So yeah, somehow I try, even if I messed up, we're
I love
laughing
it.
about. It's just really having a fun time together, not nothing serious or so.
So, folks, the key takeaway here is if your child wants you to draw something, you don't have to be a perfect artist. This isn't about being a perfect artist. This isn't about being really great about the thing that you're doing. So, like, I have two boys, so they like to do different things all of the time. Yesterday, they were like, I want to play hide and go seek. So, I'm hiding. So it's really just meeting them where they're at. And one of the biggest keys that I want everybody to hear is just knowing that this too shall pass. Like there's going to be a time where this no longer happens, and you may look back and be like, I wished I had, just really embodied that moment in time and lived in that moment. And it's so important. This is so, so, so important to just enjoy it. Don't try to perfect it. Have some fun with this. And I absolutely love it. So, folks, if you accept this little micro habit, you can jump into the community, find the link in the show notes below. You could jump into the community and you write committed to this particular mini habit, and you are going to choose how many days a week, how much time you're going to do this, because not everybody can wrap their head around 20 minutes or 30 minutes a day right now. They might need to do 15 to 20 minutes 3 days a week. whatever it is, it's just starting to add it into your life so it can become a subconscious programmed habit that you're just doing all the time. Not only will it benefit you, but it will benefit your kids. So you type committed, you select what you're going to do, how you're going to implement this into your life. And then every time you do it, you comment in the post below and you get rewarded for it, folks. We will reward you for taking action in this process. And so I absolutely love all this. If people were looking for you and wanted to find you, what's the best places? Where are the best social media platforms? Where's the best place for them to find you?
LinkedIn and Facebook. I'm
Perfect.
on both platforms active.
Excellent. Excellent. So we'll include the links to find you in those areas. And of course, when you join the community, she'll be in there. You'll be able to connect with her. I'm big on connection, folks. I'm big on you being able to connect with me, connect with all the guests on the show, and be able to really start to make these transformational changes for yourself. So if this is the one for you, jump in. We are excited to help support you through this process. Thank you so much for coming by today. This was so awesome, such a pleasure. And
Thank
remember,
you so much,
folks,
Matt, for being
abs-
here.
absolutely, it was my pleasure. And folks, remember to create more of these transformational impact and income in your life and build these strong relationships in your life. It's really just about showing up and taking action and getting those results and continuing to evolve throughout the entire process. So keep focusing on that, folks. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you in the next episode.